WrestleMania 37 had its first night last night, and honestly, amazing. I give credit, that's really what I was hoping to get. Um, Although it took a while to get there, significantly, because of not COVID, but weather. Severe thunderstorms basically prolonging the show about 45 minutes in until we got the first match. I'm not kidding. Let's go through WrestleMania 37, guys, one step at a time as we cover the Saturday of, aka Night 1. How shall we start? Well, might as well start with Smackdown. And Smackdown had a little few things to go about. We had the Fatal 4-Way for the Tag Team Championships, and turned out Ziggler and Rue weren't quite done with them. It was a good match between them, Rey Mysterio and Dominic, Otis and Gable, and of course, Street Profits. And there was a lot of false finishes that made me think, okay, are the Mysterios going to win? Are the Profits going to win? But our lucky tag, Bobby Roode, pins Chad Gable, who I believe just got hit with Montez's frog splash. And Roode and Gable retained. I completely understand why that was on SmackDown now. I hope this doesn't mean the division has to stay dead and irrelevant there. If it was WrestleMania, I guess the Mysterios might have taken it, but Roode and Gable, not Roode and Gable, Roode and Ziggler are not done with them yet. But the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal actually had a pretty good ending, and the match itself was actually pretty good. We went through things like Ali and Retribution and Lucha House Party imploding. I didn't mind that. And it came down to Jey Uso and Nakamura, and Jey Uso won. He is, I believe, the 6th winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I could be wrong, but Cesaro won at 30, then Big Show, then Corbin, then Mojo, then Matt Hardy. 35 was Strowman, and no 36. Oh no, he's the 7th, my bad, 7th. 7th winner of this match was Jey Uso. I'll be darned, I actually approve. I was thinking either Nakamura or Elias might take this if there wasn't any surprise appearances, but Jey Uso, who had been worked on character-wise for the better part of the second half of last year, finally got a little bit of comeuppance in his situation right now. So, didn't hate that. Props to him. Now let's jump into Mania. Get the side stuff aside. Let's go, everybody. Kickoff started at 7. I was surprised to see that. I thought the timing would be kickoff 6. Show starts at 7, but it looked like we had the old pay-per-view format of starting at 8. And basically, a whole hour of nothing significant on the kickoff. The usual talking, the usual interviews. I was waiting the whole time for them to show the crowd, but finally we got a shot. Felt so good to see. And then the show starts, and the weather delay kept everybody out for at least a good 30-35 minutes. It was ridiculous. I'm wondering to myself, how are they getting away with having this many people close contact in there? And it's rain and thunder and lightning that are keeping the show from starting properly? The world is a strange place, but that's not even close to the madness we got throughout this show. Let's kick in the real show. First of all, America the Beautiful performed fantastically by, I'm not good with names, but she did an amazing job. And then we had Hogan and Titus basically give us our hype of the evening as the co-hosts. Before that, though, we had Vince and all the superstars on stage, basically showing off, talking about how they're happy that the fans are back, etc., etc. And with all that malarkey out of the way, I think we can finally jump in. I guess one other side note, one thing I was so happy to see for little chunks of the evening, Bayley was doing her thing. I was really glad they didn't just forget her on this show. She interacted with the NWO backstage. She interacted with Michael Cole and the other announcers. And apparently Tom Phillips missed out. I hope he's doing okay. I think it was related to COVID. Hopefully he does not have COVID or anyone around him does. But obviously something happened to have kept him out. I believe most of the show it was Michael Cole, Corey Graves, Samoa Joe, and Byron Saxton. And now, I think the malarkey's out of the way. We started with McIntyre and Lashley for the WWE Championship, and fair play to them, this was a fun match for what I was actually expecting to be A squash. It could have gone both ways, squash, but no, that's not how we decided to start this WrestleMania. They put in the work, they kept everything protected enough, and after the struggle that was the Hurt Lock, Lashley won. He retained his title. McIntyre passed out. The referee rang the bell. He couldn't get one Claymore in the whole time, although the Future Shocks nearly had me convinced that McIntyre was taking it back. But Bobby Lashley is not yet done with his reign, and in the end, I can't really say if this is a right decision or not. I feel great for Lashley knowing that his reign wasn't just about making Drew look good at Mania. He wasn't the Brock Lesnar of this year passing on the championship. He's only just getting started. Like, this win's gotta mean that when you look at it as a whole. McIntyre, on the other hand, wow, we all thought this was meant for him. Or at least I did, my close group of friends did, that this was meant so McIntyre could win the championship in front of an audience. But no, I wonder what this means. Is he still going to be going after it? Does he have another shot down the line? Is he moving on to a new program with somebody else on Raw? Is he going to Smackdown? Maybe. We'll see what we get this upcoming week with things. But bottom line, Bobby Lashley significantly retained the WWE Championship. And although MVP caused a minor distraction, I'm not really focused as much into that being the reason Lashley retained the championship. Moving on to match 2, we had the Tag Team Gauntlet match, aka Tag Team Turmoil, to determine who would challenge Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax Night 2. And this was okay. Some decisions were a bit odd to me, but honestly, I think we came out of it okay. We started off, I believe, with Lana Naomi and Billie Kay Carmella. Here's the thing. As much as I'd predicted them in my predictions video, if you saw, I only predicted if it was a surprise entry. And they weren't. They were announced SmackDown officially in and even started, but fair play. Billie Kay trying to imitate Carmella, hilarious. And Billie Kay eliminated Naomi and Lana. I believe it was a roll-up on Naomi, I think? Maybe Lana? I could be wrong, but either way, Billie Kay and Carmella survived the first match. Out goes Lana and Naomi. That was a surprise. Next came the Riot Squad, and after a little kerfuffle, even though Carmella looked like she was going to help Billie to another win, the referee caught it, and then more roll-ups ensued, and kicks and things, and Billie Kay and Carmella were eliminated via the Riot Kick. And a senton, I believe, is what the Riot Squad used to win this match. So, fair play, it was a good struggle. Carmella, I believe, attacked Liv and/or Ruby after the match before the fourth team came in. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, and this channel isn't about looking at scandal and etc., and just making the worst out of people. Mandy slipped coming down the ring. Mandy, we're laughing with you, not at you. It's been raining the whole night. I'm not surprised somebody slipped. But then it just got worse from there for all the people who would pause and nitpick during the match because of, if you don't know, you don't know. If you know, you know. But when it comes to the result of the match, it looked like Dana and Mandy had it after, I believe, Dana hit a swanton. But I believe Liv rolled through, and Mandy and Dana were out. Goodbye, Riot Squad make it to the final match, which was Natalya, and nobody's meaner than Tamina. And after a good struggle, the Riot Squad teased that they were going to win this, but couldn't overcome Natty and Tamina. Tamina won with the splash from the top, and there you go. I sort of called it. I would give myself that one, honestly. Tamina and Natalya win. They have been the only ones who have been really interacting with Shayna and Nia the most on TV as of late. So they're getting the shot. No Bellas, no Iconics, no etc. surprises for this. And we'll see what happens. If my prediction stands, I do have new tag team champions being crowned Night 2. And Natalya and Tamina deserve it. It's a strange team, but it seems to be working enough for them. And bottom line, I'm just sick enough of Shayna and Nia as a team. It worked last year. It doesn't work this year. If anything, I hope Reginald accidentally screws it up. And then Nia and Shayna destroy each other after the match. That's my hope. That's the hope. You got to cross the fingers on that. Moving on to match 3, and this is where the emotions started to get heavy. Rollins, Cesaro. We know how important this match was for Cesaro, but was it as important for Rollins? Well, first off, Rollins, I'm not going to make fun of your pyro, but why, WWE, you just can't help yourselves? They changed his theme again! He just got his original music back with Burn It Down, and all of a sudden he comes out to some low-key guitar crap. I cannot help hating on it. It was pointless to have this for WrestleMania. But then again, he did not pull through on this one. We'll get to that in a minute. But when Cesaro came out, oh my god, you could hear the crowd losing their minds. They were invested, and no, they did not screw up Cesaro's entrance. I've already gotten into his music and entrance enough. I have my own thing for it. And the match itself, it was fantastic. Fantastic. A lot of people were wondering how the swing would go, and maybe Cesaro would potentially squash Rollins, but that's not what this is about. This is about quality, and they pulled quality the whole time through. Pedigrees, kick out. Neutralizer, kick out. Swings, Rollins did his best to avoid everything, but he must have been swung around twice for, I want to say, over 30 rotations. And my god, it was absolutely worth it when Cesaro countered that curb stomp, sort of like Randy Orton in 2015, except instead of an RKO, big European uppercut, another neutralizer, Cesaro won. And my god, you could just see it in his eyes. This is something that he should have got years ago. Is this the Cesaro push I've been waiting for since 2014? I hope so. The man deserves it. And as a side note, on like a personal side, he has been really there for a lot of people, struggling like on the side, just being himself, doing things on up, up, down, down. Even simply just playing Uno. It's one of the funniest things I could ever get. Thank you, Claudio, for helping me with my mental health wise, just seeing you be you. It really helps to see people just doing their thing for, I guess, the regular Joe Schmo, but everybody's special in their own ways. And Cesaro, keep being you. You deserve this. That got me emotionally, and I think that's the only time a little tears came out of my eyes for the whole night. That was a hell of a moment. But let's keep pushing. I believe next was the Raw Tag Team Championship match, and I don't know if this would sway people or not. I actually haven't heard a lot of feedback from this one, so I'm going to give you mine. This was handled perfect to a T. That is how I look at this match. Sometimes you want to give less, like less is more. This applied here pretty well because, well, first of all, New Day. I'm so glad Big E was there to do their intro. Got to see a little reunion. Didn't stay for the match, and maybe he should have, although I don't know how much Big E could have done. Because the match itself, well, New Day were doing great. They had AJ completely isolated. They were putting the work on him. But as soon as AJ got that tag, Omos came in and destroyed everyone. All I have to say. A pop-up spinebuster of sorts to Kofi Kingston ended the match. Almost put his foot on Kofi for the pin. And AJ Styles is finally a Grand Slam champion. Almost wins his first match in WWE and a championship. I can't complain. The build to this looked like we would get something like this. AJ couldn't handle New Day. That's why he had Omos, and he delivered from the hype we had gotten before. He didn't need to do too much, but he absolutely obliterated New Day. Like, if you had seen his no-sells, you would completely understand the level of mood I am on right now. Handled perfectly to a T. I am very happy we have new Raw Tag Team Champions, and there was no swerve necessary for this match. Props to Woods and Kofi for putting this over like only they could. Great job, everybody, for this. Now, I believe we're moving on to third last match, and it was the Steel Cage match. Shane McMahon, Braun Strowman. And this was actually handled pretty nicely for the cage match feel. I rather enjoyed it. Elias and Jackson Riker assaulted Strowman with chairs before he got in. Shane was trying to put in the work, and to be fair, he did. Braun was putting him over in the sense of Shane McMahon's got to get his stuff in. He even hit the coast to coast at one point. But there was a fantastic spot when Shane looked like he was done, but he was taking his time. He was getting out of the cage. Strowman was down. But Strowman rips open the cage, pulls Shane back in, and throws him off the top of it to the ring. So the match was still going. But it was incredible. I'd never seen a spot like that. That might be my favorite steel cage spot of all time. Just he rips it open, barehanded, grabs the man, and throws him back in. It was hilarious. And then Strowman gets back in the ring, power slams Shane McMahon, screams out about, oh, this is for all the people who have been bullied or called stupid, etc., because I guess that's what this was about. It was for the kids in some sense. Braun Strowman wins. His WrestleMania record is still perfect on the main show. I got no complaints. I didn't want to swerve anyway. I picked Braun. I just wanted this feud to be over. But for that cage spot, that was pretty worth it. Well done, WWE, but never do this nonsense with Shane and a stupid feud again, okay? We don't need that to be a reason for Shane McMahon to get a WrestleMania match. It's Shane McMahon. He likes to show up every now and then and put in the work. I like that. I like Shane McMahon as a wrestler. He's been fun over the years. But when he has to come back, what do we have to come up with an idea of feuding with just a random body? Oh, he's big and he's stupid. No. But it played well here in the match, and it's done. Let's put it in the book. And the second match before the main event was not what I thought it'd be. The Bad Bunny match. Well, Bad Bunny came out on a truck, and he absolutely kicked the crap out of Miz. And after a kerfuffle with Priest and a little bit of a tag match, Bad Bunny hit a splash off the top on Miz, who was on Damian Priest's shoulders, and pinned the Miz to win. And it's pretty much the way I saw this match going. So, the celebrity won, and Damian Priest at least looked good with him. And that's really it for this one. I don't have too much input to give. It was a pretty boring match when Miz and Morrison were in control for a lot of it. But I'll be honest, my favorite part of the match, Bad Bunny hit a destroyer outside of the ring, I think to Morrison. Where did that come from? He just pulls out a destroyer, and he hit another bunch of wrestling moves. I'll say one thing. I couldn't give much of a crap for the music, just because I'm not interested. That's just me. But for the man willing to come in and put in the work, he put in the work enough. Thank you for coming. But I'm done with it now. Let's move on. Main event, Sasha Banks defending SmackDown Women's Championship against Bianca Belair. Pretty perfect. Yeah, for the main event of night one, they went with the right match, and after a lot of thoughts on would heel Sasha really rear her head in this, and she was using Bianca's hair a lot, but not so many cheap shots, not roll-ups with the tights or chair shots or anything like that. But Bianca finally got her moment. She whipped her hair hard against Sasha, and that was a nasty gash that left, like, not blood everywhere, but, like, if you saw Sasha after the match, you know what I'm talking about. Finally, KOD. 1, 2, 3. Bianca Belair won the SmackDown Women's Championship in the main event of night one. I am so glad WWE capitalized on this instead of making us wait another year for Bianca to get her due, because this should have happened last year, in my opinion. It didn't have to happen at WrestleMania, but Bianca was clearly still over last year enough that they could have done this. But at the same time, we did it with fans, and her parents freaked out in the front row when she won. I hate to end this on a downer, though, but one of the things I didn't notice, thankfully I didn't notice watching live until watching a little replays today before making this video for you lovely subscribers. Michael Cole, when Bianca Belair gets the clear 3 count, everybody's flipping out, the bell has rung, and the music is playing. Sasha Banks kicked out! Are you looking at your script? Are you not looking at what's in front of you? I couldn't believe it. I thought my ears must have been bleeding or something, like, when I was watching this replay, but no, he said it. And Graves is flipping out like, no, she got her new champion, etc., etc. It's like, Cole, are you kidding me? Are you just kidding me right now? Because, pow, right in the kisser. What a dunce move. I'm not sure. Cole has had his dunce moves at Mania before. This comes very close to Trump, and you know what? No, it might. It might trump, because you remember when Shane McMahon jumped off the cell at WrestleMania 32 on Undertaker, and you can see Cole reading the script when a man is crumpled right at his feet and the camera's on. I just, those moments at WrestleMania, I just want someone to just throw Michael Cole off of the Hell in the Cell, but instead of him landing, he just keeps falling, and we leave him in the void. But in all seriousness, I know mistakes happen. I'm the last person that should be commenting on it. But you want me to rage? There's a rage. But overall, WrestleMania 37 Night 1, I would give an A. That was a great show. Highlight for me, though, definitely Cesaro getting his due. And I give credit to Bianca and Sasha. That match was lit. Don't use that word often. But I have to give match of the night to Seth and Cesaro. They really came up with some fantastic spots, false finishes, and just reasons that I thought I'd be let down. But then we come through in the clutch and give Cesaro the win. That was really my highlight. I gotta give them credit where credit's due. That's it. WrestleMania is half done. We get the second half tonight. And can we end off on a good note? Is Daniel Bryan gonna do it? Can Edge come back triumphantly? Or will the big dog shut them all down? We'll see what we get. But thank you all so much for watching. If you're still here, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what your favorite match was of night 1 and what you're most looking forward to tonight in the second and final part of WrestleMania 37. I will see you Monday. Yeah, Monday. I don't know why it wouldn't be Monday. For my review results video of night 2. Keep it real. Enjoy WrestleMania.